All right, let's jump right in. We're looking at a whole new wave of AI tools, and these are designed to completely change how we learn, especially in higher education. And look, this is not about an AI that writes your essay for you. No, it's about a tool that helps you think, helps you connect the dots, and really understand your material on a much, much deeper level. You know the feeling, right? If you've ever been a student or researcher, this is going to sound very familiar. You have this absolute mountain of information for your classes. You've got research papers, video lectures, your own notes, and the biggest challenge is just making sense of it all. It is the classic definition of information overload. So, what's the answer? Well, enter NotebookLM. The best way to think of it is like a virtual research assistant, but, and this is the crucial part, it's grounded only in the documents that you provide. It basically becomes a personalized expert on the exact material that matters to you. And just as important, your private data is never used to train the model. It stays yours. To really get why a tool like this is such a big deal, let's just take a second to look at the core problem it's built to solve. That information swamp that is modern academic life. I mean, think about it. The stuff you need is just scattered everywhere. You're constantly trying to juggle dense PDFs, your professor's Google Slides, links to YouTube lectures, audio recordings from class, and of course all of your own notes. The real work, the real learning, isn't just reading all that stuff. It's about finding the connections between all of it. Okay, and this is where it starts to get really interesting. NotebookLM helps you tackle that exact challenge because it lets you build your very own personal expert from the ground up. And we are talking about a serious amount of material here. You can make separate notebooks for every class or project and load each one up with as many as 50 different sources. To put that in perspective, that's more than enough space to handle an entire semester's worth of reading, or even all the research for a PhD thesis. It's a heavy lifter. So what can you actually feed this thing? Well, pretty much everything you're already using. We're talking dense PDFs, your own notes from Google Docs, lecture slides, websites, and yeah, even public YouTube videos and audio files of your class recordings. It's built for the messy, real-world mix of materials that students actually use. You know, this quote from the team behind it really hits the nail on the head. The goal here isn't just to store your information in a fancy folder, it's to help you actively understand it. Because once all your material is finally in one place, that's when the real work of learning can finally begin. So let's talk about how NotebookLM goes beyond being just a repository and actually becomes this dynamic study partner, one that helps you really engage with everything you've uploaded. This is where the magic really happens, because this is what turns passive reading into active learning. It can instantly generate things like flashcards and quizzes from your notes, create mind maps so you can actually see how concepts connect, and it can even act as a personal tutor, asking you tough questions to make sure you really get it. The tool also gets pretty creative in how you review your material. You can turn all your sources into a kind of podcast-style chat or get a quick audio summary. Or, and this is really cool, you can have two AI hosts actually debate a topic from your notes. I mean, imagine using that to prep for class discussion, hearing both sides of an argument laid out for you. That's a game changer. And hey, this isn't just for English speakers. With support for over 80 languages, these tools are genuinely breaking down barriers and making this kind of deep learning way more accessible for students and researchers all over the world. Of course, learning doesn't just happen while you're sitting at a desk. So there's a mobile app, and you can take your AI study partner with you wherever you go. One of the killer features here is that you can download your audio overviews for offline listening. That's perfect for catching up on course material during your commute or at the gym. Okay, so you've gathered your sources, you've used the tools to deepen your understanding. What's next? Well, the final and most crucial step is turning all that insight into actual, tangible work. This is all about getting to that first draft way, way faster. Once your sources are uploaded and you've had a few conversations with the AI, you can just ask it to generate a document in a specific format. Then, boom, you export a draft to Google Docs and you can start polishing it. And you have a ton of control over what it creates. Sure, you can ask for a standard study guide or an FAQ, but you can also get way more specific. For example, you could upload a Shakespeare play and ask for a detailed character analysis of Hamlet, or upload a dense scientific paper and ask it to create a glossary of all the key terms. Now, this is absolutely critical. This whole system is designed to plug right into the way schools and universities already work. Professors can create notebooks from their class materials and then assign them directly inside the learning management systems they're already using, like Canvas or Google Classroom. It makes it super easy for both teachers and students to get started.
So, when you put all these different pieces together, what does this really mean for the future of how we learn?
Well, ultimately, what we're looking at is a fundamental shift. It's a move away from being a passive consumer of information to becoming an active learner and creator. A tool like this isn't here to replace your thinking, it's here to supercharge it, helping you build understanding faster and more effectively than ever before. And that leaves us with a really fascinating, almost mind-bending question to think about. This tool becomes an expert that's grounded only in your sources. So, how does education itself change when you can collaborate with an AI that has a perfect searchable memory of every single page you've ever given it? It's a powerful thought to end on.